Hello. I'd like to tie back to the last time I talked to you. I mentioned that I had a decision. I wanted to make it in the vortex. And every time I would get in the vortex, I felt so good that I didn't care how the decision went. And you rightly told me that the decision had already been made, and so I was right not to be worried about it. And sure enough, when I got back home after that seminar, I found that the decision had been made. But my question today has a little bit to do with that and with what we've just had today. This experience has been so intense for me that the decision I was trying to make was that someone wanted me to teach a class in the teachings of Abraham. And I was hesitating because I felt selfishly that I have worked for some years to grow and to absorb what is going on, and I wasn't sure that just teaching someone in a class could bring anything to them that they couldn't find better on their own. However, I kind of gotten trapped into doing this job anyway, and so I've been doing a lot of work on how to attract those to this class who would benefit from it and who wouldn't detract from the experience of others. And I know that there are a lot of people here who do teach this and similar things, but I just want to be a help to these people without trying to insert things into them, because my experience has been that doesn't work anyway.
Well, law of attraction really wouldn't allow that to happen, would it?
No, my feeling has been that if I just go ahead, that I will attract the right people by the law of attraction.
We want to go back to a point that you made earlier, because it's something worth cleaning up, and then it will make the next conversation clearer. Okay. And that is when you're feeling some concern about holding a class, where you said something very profound. You said, so much of what I know has come through my life experience. And I don't want to be so bold as to assume that people could just come to a class and learn about life from me. And you are right. They cannot learn about their life from your vortex. They are learning about life from theirs. But when you express your life as it is working and as it is succeeding to those who are reaching for it, they do gain dramatically from it. We've been saying from the beginning of our flowing in this manner through Esther that words don't teach. It is life experience that teaches. But when you are willing to come into an environment like this, where you contemplate or focus upon specific words that are being deliberately offered, and because of the environment and therefore the absence of resistance, you feel resonance with those words. It is the resonance that you're feeling is not resonance with the words, it's resonance with what you've already put into your vortex. So what you or we or any teacher is doing, their step one has happened long before they met you or us. We are assisting them with the step 3 part of the equation, you say.
Well, that kind of gets me into what's holding me back right now. Well, it's not really holding me back because I'm just going ahead and doing my work as usual. But with respect to the class, I've been asked to come up with a lesson plan and all of that, and I don't think that's an effective way to do this, and so I just haven't. And I felt that if I do my daily work, that when I come to the class, I will be ready to go in the direction that I should go without having a plan or something written down.
Well, we say to those who gather, this agenda has been in the vortex long before you dragged your physical bodies here, because you've been putting it there.
Sure.
And this is the opportunity to collectively reap the benefit of what you have been individually putting into your vortex. But there's another piece of something that we want to give to you here, and that is that everything that you want to teach them in order to help them become vibrational matches to the things in their life that they desire, you want to just apply the same thing here to this for yourself. In other words, your work before you go to the class, or your work before you even set it up, your work is to get into the vortex and contemplate the class from inside the vortex. And the comments that you've been making to us here that have been prefaced with statements that where I'm stuck or what I'm worried about or what's holding me up, those are outside the vortex vantage places.
Absolutely.
And so what we want to say to you is your work is to get into the vortex and envision the class. In other words, what does it feel like? What does a leading edge teacher like yourself in a leading edge class, what does that feel like? Well, first of all, you were anticipating sort of obnoxious people coming and disrupting your class. Well, that's visualization outside the vortex. That's not what you want to visualize. You want to visualize people who want to know, who can benefit by what you know, who have much percolating within them that's drawing a lot of energy through. You want passionate people who have strong questions to which you can comfortably guide them. But most of all, it's a co-creation. In other words, we do not look at these gatherings as opportunities for us to express to unknowing attendees stuff that we know. It isn't what's going on here at all. What this is an opportunity for powerful creators who are currently in physical form, who have launched all kinds of rockets of desire that we have full view of, an opportunity to collectively collaborate to take thought beyond that which it has been before. And that's what's hanging you up. Your premise that I want to be a teacher to teach people who don't know stuff that I know, that and we are exaggerating that a bit because there's much more about your teaching that is important to you, but that's what's sort of stuck in your vibrational craw. When the reality of the reason that you want to do this work is simply because it is so fun to collaboratively intertwine with others who are willing to think and expand collectively.
Yes.
It is just so much fun. There isn't anything that any of you could have done today that would have been more satisfying than what we did here today. In other words,
true.
It's
Absolutely
satisfying
true.
on so many levels of your being, you see.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I raised my hand when I did, was because I was feeling the intensity of this experience and wondering how can I impart any of that
the
to
components are
other people.
The components of it are, it isn't that we are imparting, it is that you are soliciting. It is that you are extracting. In other words, you come with the intensity of who you are, and in our knowing of how it turns out, it does. And that's the part we want you to work on. It's that knowing that it turns out, which means you want to make lists of how wise you are and how aligned you are and how sensitive to emotion you are and how aware you are when you're out of the vortex and how much more you prefer to be in it. You want to make lists of how you love people and how you like to help people in the sense that you are an uplifter to the core of your being, and there isn't anything more satisfying than uplifting. In other words, those are the things that you just want to amplify within yourself. And we promise that the perfect people who are ready for that which you are will come and play and expand collectively with you.
Wonderful.
Yes, indeed.
That is terrific. Thank you very much.